I'm Blair Smith, boss community organizing team. I am currently on GA. I lost my job and my apartment and everything that I had, and I was fortunate to be able to get on GA, help me get back on my feet. They haven't been doing a lot of cuts. They have saved us in some respects, but I feel we can't need no more cuts in Social Security or GA because we're already just barely making it. We get cost of living raises, but nothing in when it comes to GA or Social Security.
What's up, Oakland? Let me hear a shout out for Oakland today. Look, we're happy for all the communities that came out. My name is Ethel Long Scott, and I'm the director of the Women's Economic Agenda Project, and I send you much love and respect. Much love and respect. Look, it's real important that this demonstration is going on today. Many before me, sisters and brothers, have already covered, the list of how these cuts are going to take lives. We need to underscore that it's going to take lives. And we need to make sure they understand that they're trying to throw us backward. We didn't fight in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s to get thrown back to the damn 1900s. That's right. That's what this is about. We didn't fight to have hard fought for collective bargaining rights ripped out of our hands so they can try and tell some corporations and some rich people can live in not simply one house, not simply two houses, but 6, 7, and 8 houses, and we got men and women hungry, roaming on the streets, and don't know from day to day where they're going to get their next meal or if they're going to have a roof over their head. What kind of America do we want? It ain't that one, baby. If we want a difference, and we do, we are going to have to fight for a new future. Every one of us, we are going to have to fight for that new future. Damn straight! And that's why we're here today. But we ain't here just to raise hell. We need to do that. But we are also here, thank you, sister. We are also here to expose some dirty little secrets. Because we want to make sure that they know that we know when they are dismantling this poor little safety net, dismantling the social contract established between workers and labor for more than 100 years, that they are doing this so that these sneaky-ass corporations can come in and try to reorganize government, our government, to be their representatives so they can further steal our rights and they can make higher profits. We say we reject those proposals. We know that these elected officials who are working hand in hand with these corporations to loot the public coffers, because that's what this is. It's nothing less than getting a bat and hitting poor people over the head, sick people over the head, disabled people over the head. It is robbery, and it needs to be treated as a crime. But we can only do that if we can come together as one working class, with one agenda, with one sense of purpose, that we begin to move together. That's what time it is in America. So they want to throw down, we can too. We can too. And the first thing I want to make sure that they know, and the other thing we know in their dirty little secrets, there is plenty of money in the state of California. We know one of the things they want to sit up here and say, oh, we just don't have the money. Every city council, every county government, every one of these states lying through their teeth. This state taxes corporations very lightly. This state, more than 50% of the corporations in this state are making money because they give them a nice fat check that's called a tax break. So none of y'all getting, but that's what they're getting. That's looting the public coffers. Now we need to understand when they say, oh, all you do is get together and complain. What you gonna do about it? Well, we got a plan. We got a couple of things that we think can do to change this situation tomorrow. Right now we say, let's start with making this change with taxing the corporations and the rich and putting that money into our people. That's what we're talking about. But we gotta build a powerful transformative movement in order to secure that. We got to do education, teaching, and building so that we don't have one another. They want us to battle for the bottom. We got to say to hell with that. Last I seen, the hell with that. Last I seen Mr. Gates, the last I seen any number of these technology companies, they ain't crying broke. They sitting there saying, how we going to get it? So how we going to turn these folks upside down and get some more money out of their no money selves? And they can do it because we don't have organization. We lack a vision right now. We got it in our hearts, but we don't have a collective vision. We got to go for that. And let me tell you, there's another very immediate thing we can do. These god-awful cuts in Medi-Cal. What kind of special things gonna reach in the coffers, treat the sickest, the most vulnerable population and tell you if you need to get to the hospital, you better cough up $5 more, no, $100 more for an emergency visit. $100! $5 more for co-payment. And oh, by the way, we're gonna cut the doctors another 10%. Now those of us who have to live, we're trying to just have doctors who work on Medi-Cal. You know how few and far between they are. How many will see sick people when their amounts are going down? So check this out. We are one nation. We need one damn health care plan. The same one them congressmen got, all of us need. We need to bring up the Medicaid. One nation, one health care plan. Here we go. One nation, one health care plan. Single payer. Okay? One health care plan. Check this out. And we can get to it very, very easily. Very easily. For us old people, I'm not even quite there, and some of us who may have a disability or two, we can get on Medicare based on, certain requirements. Check this out. We need a movement that says, damn it, remove those requirements and make every citizen that's breathing that's a human being in Medicare for all today. That would change this thing. Today. That would change it. That would change it. You got something to say, little sis? Okay, tell me whatever it is you got to say, sis.
She has to pay $100.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's the new requirements now. Every time a person on Medi-Cal goes to the hospital, they're going to have to emerge there. They're going to have to pay $100.
And who turned
The rich and corporations are going to run it and run us workers. Some of us that might have jobs, some of us that are looking for jobs and can't find them, and may be homeless. But we are all one working class. Which way? Who is going to run this country? That is the question of the day. And we need to craft that if that's the vision of taking care of all of our people, we got more money, we got more resources. You realize that this is the first time in human history we got the kind of computer resources that we can feed, house, clothes, and take care of every damn human being on the planet. On the planet, not just our country. But that means we got to redirect the values and the priorities. And who best but the workers of this country who built this wealth? Who best but us? So I know somebody is looking after me. Thank you so much. I just want to say there's an amazing irony. We've had other big battles in this country before. Y'all know this. I wouldn't even be able to stand here before you had there not been powerful, powerful movements. One to first set us free as a people, and we set our own selves free. And then to begin to fight for a new social contract where we as workers not only had fairness, but had a respect. The economy is changing. They don't need us in the paid workforce in the same way. We need a new economy that takes care of all of our people. And damn it, if they can't do it in Sacramento, Washington, D.C., get out of the way. We the workers will handle our business. Let's get busy.
Thank you. I did. I wanted to make sure that you were aware social services is completely on board and supportive of the advocates in the community. These cuts hurt our families. They hurt hurt our communities, they hurt our children, they hurt our most needy, and we're aware of that. We are committed to working with the advocates. We're committed to trying to work with our CBOs to find ways that we can find the resources necessary to keep services in place. This is horrible. We realize it. I'm glad you guys are here. I mean, this is a really great, strong show of support. You just need to know that social services is also behind you as well.
And finally, to close, we have Diana Spatz, who's been an advocate and an activist, a fighter, and a mom forever. Hey, y'all! Can you hear me? All right, I'm here to tell y'all that I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm here to tell y'all I'm sick and tired of this shit. And for the little kids here, excuse my language, but I'm bilingual, my French there, but I'm sick and tired of this shit. We are in the middle of the worst recession that we've had in this country since the Great Depression. There is no time limit on poverty. You know, how is our state legislature going to time families off in the middle of the worst recession we've had in nearly 100 years? I want to see these people time limit unemployment. I want to see them time limit this recession. I want to see them put a time limit on poverty. And if they can't accomplish that, then they need to put a time limit on their own behind. And of course, you know they're not going to do it. They're sitting up in Sacramento with their guaranteed income and all their benefits and their health care while we're sitting here trying to knit together raggedy ends that don't meet because we're not getting our fair share. I am a middle-class mom now. I was on welfare for 10 years. I got off welfare because I was able to get my education, and I got off welfare right as they passed welfare reform and put time limits on parents instead of putting a time limit on poverty. And I want to know, why the hell do I pay more in income taxes than General Electric? General Electric made $14 billion in profits last year and didn't pay a dime in taxes. And I'm a middle-class mom, and I pay 3 times more in taxes now than I used to make working full-time cleaning houses in San Francisco for $4.75 an hour. This shit makes me mad. Don't buy anything from GE, and they make Whirlpool too, so F all that. No Whirlpool, no General Electric, and tell every family member and friend you have to tell GE to F off, that you're not going to buy their crap, okay? Secondly, the other thing, in 2 weeks, I say we go to San Francisco and do a hella loud sit-in in Senator Mark Leno's office. All right. Senator Mark Leno is chair of the Senate Budget Committee, and he agreed to these cuts. Because let me tell you something, when I was on welfare in 1989, and I enrolled at City College of San Francisco, my grant was more than it is today. Right? My grant was more in 1989 than the grant for a single mom and her child is today. And in 1989, milk cost $1 a gallon, y'all. And that gallon of milk costs $4 to $5 today.
Yes, that's right, that's right.
You know, and when you hear them bitching about, oh, our CalWORK grants are so bent, they're so generous, well, what are we comparing ourselves to? The state of Texas, the average welfare grant in the state of Texas is $68 a month. $68 a month. So that's how low these legislators can go if we're not up in their face, up in their offices, calling their damn phones and giving them hell for making decisions that put children in the line of fire for these budget cuts and don't hold these corporations accountable for paying their damn fair share. All right? Let's make an action. So I say in 2 weeks on Friday, July 15th, we take our behinds to San Francisco and we go in Mark Leno's office and we get loud and we get disruptive and we change our children's diapers and leave it in their trash cans. And we don't leave until this man sits down with us and agrees to revoke the a 48-month limit on what CalWORKs benefits. That he revoked the 8% grant cut, because these grants are now 70% below the poverty line. All right, and think about the state of Georgia. There was an article today about a child who sued the county because they denied him CalWORKs and general assistance. Well, thank God the judge ruled in his family's favor. But what the caseworker told this mother is, if you give your child up for adoption, we'll give that child assistance. What? If you give that child up for adoption, then we'll help that child. In the state of Georgia, they now spend 60% of their TANF, their welfare funding, on adoption services and foster care. We've had mothers in our organization graduate from college, move to Atlanta because they got a job offer, and when the recession hit and they became unemployed and their unemployment ran out and they went to apply for welfare, they were told, well, there's a 90-day waiting period, but we'll take your children for you. Right? So when you hear these state legislators complain about our program and that 30% of families on welfare in the entire country live in California alone, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. Because as bad as these cuts are and these time limits are, at least our state still has a damn safety net. And we need to make sure they don't shred that safety net with any more cuts to CalWORKs, to SSI, to Medicaid, to child care. We need to get up in their faces, and I'm willing to go to jail by disobedience. I have never been to jail for anything positive. That was my past. But I'm ready to go to jail for my principles now because my daughter's old enough that she won't get taken by CPS if I get arrested and have to spend the night in jail. So are you guys with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? Hell no! We will not stand for any more of this shit. These are my tax dollars and your tax dollars being put to purposes that are not fair and just for our communities, and we have every right and every moral obligation to say, hell no, we won't stand for any more of this shit. So in 2 weeks, are we down for it? Yeah! Let's go to San Francisco and give this budget committee chairman to hell him, his Democratic colleagues, and his Republican opponents all deserve shame on Sacramento. Because let me tell you something, the Republicans were holding up the budget because they want to protect $4 billion in subsidies to oil companies. $4 billion to Chevron and Exxon and BP and all these people who are gouging our families, charging us $4 for a gallon of gas, and they getting $4 billion in corporate welfare every year. Now, just by contrast, the entire CalWORKs program costs $1 billion a year. So I am sick and tired of my tax dollars going to these corporations who don't give a damn about our families and communities. So let's call Obama and make sure he keeps his promise this time, and that he takes away these corporate loopholes and tax breaks for the wealthy and corporations who still don't pay their fair share. Hell no! Sacramento, shame on